everyone, and welcome back to Stop, Drop, and Knit. If you're new here, my name is Lisa, and this is my cozy little corner of the internet where we talk about knitting and natural dyeing and life inside my small fiber studio with my two rambunctious Angora bunnies, Felix and Elmer Fuzz. Today, we're doing a little bit of a knitting reset. Once March rolls around, I always get this sudden urge to do some spring cleaning. I've already done a little bit of deep cleaning around the apartment, but my knitting, that's a completely different story. Right now, I have remnants of yarn from old projects just shoved in random places. I've got whip bags in every room scattered throughout the apartment. Maybe not the bathroom, and maybe not my son's room, but every other room. And all of my needles and stitch markers are just kind of shoved inside the coffee table drawer. It's a mess. So today's video is going to be a little bit of a spring cleaning for my knitting life. My plan is to gather everything together, whips, yarn remnants, tools, all of it, so that I can get it put away and organized again. And once everything is back in order, I'm hoping that that will help me come up with a more intentional knitting plan for spring. Because right now, my knitting life feels a little chaotic, and I'd really like for it to feel calm again. Okay, so this is pretty telling, I think. This is kind of a lot. It's amazing how when it's tucked away everywhere else in its own little cabinets and drawers and cubbies, it doesn't really seem like it would be that big a mess, but I've created this whole big mess, and now I need to clean it up. And here's where we just kind of freeze, right? Now that we've made a mess. Okay, so now that I am thoroughly surrounded by a big mess, I can't actually work on fixing this right now. Isn't that the way that it always goes? We create a mess and then just can't deal with it right away. Let me know in the comments if you can relate to that or if you just have no idea what I'm talking about. I've created a really big mess. This is actually just the reality of what is shoved in all of the random places. I emptied the drawer here of the coffee table and I put like all of the needles and random tools and stuff in this basket right here to go to, but I do have like a handful of stitch markers here. I found a pom-pom maker. I've got my interchangeable needle set here. These are things that tend to just kind of live in the baskets beneath the table, but that would be fine, except that this whole basket is full of just yarn remnants. These are prior project remnants that I have just shoved in bins in the coffee table drawer with the needles and all the things in the bins underneath the coffee table. I have some of it like in bags that I at least thought to put some things in bags, but those were all just kind of thrown in the bedroom somewhere and hidden away. I found like an entire sweater quantity of yarn that I meant to cast on a project for. I wound it up. But as you can see, I never got started. It's not in a project bag. I haven't even selected which project I wanted to use. I just knew I wanted to use this yarn and I got it all ready to go. And this was like April, so almost a year ago that it's just been sitting like this in the bedroom on a random shelf. And then behind me is all of my project bags that I need to go through. So yeah, I'm hoping to do that in a little while this afternoon and take a look at what is inside of these bags, because some of them are active projects, but a lot of these bags are also holding remnants from prior projects that I just haven't cleaned up. I just kind of shoved it all in the bag and then tossed the bag back in the whip bin or in the bedroom, hanging it on the back of my door. Yeah, so just taking a minute to soak all of this in before we get in organizing mode, tackling this big mess. I think I'm hungry. We might need a snack first. Okay, I am back and I am ready to attack at least some of this mess. So I think I'm gonna start with the easier and more exciting things first, and that is going to be these big bags. That way I can clear the couch and have a more comfortable place to sit than the floor. So I think we're gonna start with the easiest thing. This is my big ass bag and I'm not gonna open it. I know exactly what's in here. My Amy sweater by Petite Knit is in here, and this is the current whip that I have been working on, and I have been extremely monogamous with this project. In fact, I'm almost done with it now. I just have like the final inch of ribbing on the hem to do, and then I'll be able to bind it off and wet block it and have a new sweater. So we're just gonna clear this one out of the way, and that feels like a really easy win. I think we'll take the next easy one too and just move this out of the way. I have a couple of hat projects in here that I have been actively working on, as well as yarn for a pair of socks that I have been meaning to start. So I don't need to open this one, and I'm just gonna set this one aside as well. Now we're gonna start to open some stuff where I don't know if I know exactly what is in here. Start with this one. This is just a Fiber Space tote bag. Oh, it looks like I have a whole bunch of stuff in here. All right, so I pulled out a bag within a bag. I'm kind of famous for doing bags within bags. This is the moose kit, and I actually made a moose already. He's sitting over on my shelf, but this is a pattern by Susan B. Anderson. And I made the moose for my husband. And these, all right, so this in here is remnants from that project. And then, now I know what this is. Okay, I actually had no idea what this is. So in this bag, I have leftover yarn from my Bernie sweater. And this is yarn that I naturally dyed with black walnuts. And I had actually wanted to use all of these leftovers in here. I don't know if you guys can really see. It's just a bunch of brown and cream naturally dyed yarn in here. And I had wanted to make a mousse out of my own yarn. So now I know what is inside this one. Okay, so we're gonna have my active whips pile. So I already know what's in there. And then if I have yarn that is particular for a specific project, I'm not gonna go ahead right now and determine whether I'm going to knit it right away. We're just looking to see what everything is, like what is inside each bag so that I can get it organized. So this bag has a specific project in it. So I'm going to set that in its own pile. This bag, I'm guessing that there's a sock project in here because this is just a little Bungalow 360 bag. It's not a knitting project bag. It is just a bag that is a good size for sock projects. Okay, good. And this one, I have a half finished sock in it. So it's a very, very long sock. And I need to do the entire other sock. And that is the only thing in this project bag. So that's another specific project. Let's see what's in this one. This is another Bungalow 360 bag. And this one, oh, that's where that is. Guys, I found my drop spindle. Okay, so this bag is full of fiber. I know what, okay. This has a bunch of random fiber in it that I had packed away when I went to visit my parents. So I have, oh, that's where my other drop spindle is. I had no idea where these were. I knew that they were somewhere. So, oh my gosh, thank you. It looks like I had started spinning some of this purple linen on this very small drop spindle. I think it's just like a whole mix of fiber and spindle projects, drop spindle projects in here. So this is not yarn. So this actually needs to go in its own fiber spinning section. Yeah, there's no knitting in this one at all. All right, that was exciting. And then, oh, there is yarn in here. This is hand spun yarn. Let's just have a look at it. Okay, this is a hand spun that I did pretty recently out of just a fiber that came from Paradise Fibers when I was subscribed to the Fiber Club. Okay, so that's just all spinning related. So I'm gonna put that stuff, different pile over there. So that should not be mixed in with my knitting. Let's see what is in this one. This is another Bungalow 360 bag. I used to pick these up on vacation. They always had them at like little gift shops and stuff. And I just thought they were really cute and made good knitting bags. Oh, right. That's what this one is. Okay. This is a project that I need to frog because I couldn't get it over my foot. All right. So I had knit almost all of this beautiful sock. This is actually with yarn that was from a collaboration, a natural dye collaboration that I did with Tabitha over at Long Island's Yarn and Farm. And I knit this whole sock and I couldn't get it over my foot. And so I just shoved this in the naughty pile. So this is one that I need to frog and reclaim these needles. So actually, let me go do that right now. I'm gonna rip the needles out because I can't I can't leave it as is. So I'm gonna reclaim those needles, and then this is gonna have to actually, oh, there's other needles in here too. I wonder if I should keep the needles No, you know what? The pattern will have the needles, and I probably need to go up a needle size anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put these needles in the basket. And yeah, this needs to be frogged. So we need a frog pond pile, I think. And what is in here? Stuff in the, oh my goodness. And then I have in the front pouch here, I've got remnants from another sock that I actually finished. So this is just scraps. All right. So this bag is going to go into the frog pond. I'm just going to toss that over there. This bag, it's not a fancy knitting bag. We just have a random tote bag that says best mom ever. I don't know what's in here. Now I know what's in here. This is a project that I had stalled out on. In here, so this is yarn for a specific sweater. This is the start of, oh my gosh, I don't remember the name of it offhand, but I was very enthusiastic to cast this on, and I think it was the fall that the pattern came out. This is an Andrea Mowry pattern. This was from at least 2 years ago, if not 3 at this point. I'll have to look it up, but this, it's this big cozy cardigan, and it has, I can't think of the name, so I'm going to look it up, but it's got a really soft Surrey alpaca, like, cowl attached to the neck for the edge of the cardigan. That's the word. Cardigan is the word I'm looking for. I was very enthusiastically casting this. I've got a whole other needle in here. That's where that went. My eyesight is so bad nowadays that I have to take pictures of the needles and zoom on the pictures to see what needle size we're working with. So I'm going to have to do that on another point. But yeah, I didn't get very far. This is still a project that I want to knit, but I'm not going to get to it anytime soon. I'm not going to frog it. All of the yarn for the project is in here. I think I am going to take out the needles, though, the extra set of needles, because I never know where my needles are. So this is for a specific project, so that's going to go in that pile. This one, I think, holds remnants. This is a cute little Joji Locatelli bag. And I think that this is holding remnants from my Andrea Mowry striped sweater. Yeah. And so basically I have all of these, like this size skeins of yarn this is also my naturally dyed yarn. I've got my swatch in here. And I basically I need to label. These are good size skeins of yarn. I mean, they're all like this or bigger. So I need to just go through and label what I naturally dyed them with. I need to weigh them, and I need to label them and then get them put away in my scraps somewhere. So that's what's in here. So I think I'll put this like in the frog pond pile because it's just needing to be organized. I have a feeling that this is another spinning bag. This is, again, it's not a designated knitting project bag, but it's this Life is Good little backpack bag, and I just like that it has these outer pockets, and yeah, it closes with a drawstring. Oh my goodness. That's where the rest of that yarn is. So the skein of yarn that I just showed you that was hiding in the other spinning bag, the rest of it is right in here with, so I have this in a bag with basically the information card that came with the Paradise Fibers. So this is that month's subscription and whatever little extras they included. They always include this little pouch. So I've got a stash tee in here. I've got some buttons. Okay, so this is all stuff that just needs to be put away in that pile over there. This is the yarn for Christmas stockings. So I had purchased from Barrett Wilco some woodland stocking kit yarn. She puts kits together. And I made one stocking, and so this is the yarn left over from the one stocking that I made. So I think that this is all just leftovers. I've got the labels in here. This is a good amount of leftovers. I have three other stocking kits. I need to still make at least 2 more stockings, one for me. I made one for my husband. I wanted to make one for me and one for Owen. But I bought 4, so I should still have 3 others. And I think that these are just the leftovers. So that just needs to be labeled with the tags, weighed so I know what is left, and put away. That can actually just go right here on this table because I've just got a bunch of random yarn here. Oh, this is from a little bunny kit that I made. So I had knit this cute little bunny, and in this bag are other yarn that coordinates with the kit to make accessories for the bunny. So that's what's in here. This has been on my lingering whips list. Seriously, like, this is all of the yarn that's in there. It's like such a small amount, but it's specifically to make like this cute little shawl and a hat and a pom-pom for the bunny. I don't think this is going to take me very long to do. I think I just forgot about it because it was buried somewhere. So I'm just going to put this into this pile that has designated projects in it already. This one also, I got this really nice bag from Joji Locatelli, and this was the Spin Cycle collaboration bag. I know it's in here, and this is going to be my next whip when I cast off my Amy sweater. So this is going to be my next big project. I'm not going to show you what's in here. I know what's in here. If you guys want to see what's in here, you'll see soon enough. You guys can subscribe to my channel to find out what's going to be in that bag. But that's got a very fancy cardigan in it. I know what's in there. I know that there's nothing else hiding in there, so I'm not going to open it. We're just going to tuck it away over there. A ball winder, just shove that on the table. This bag, I think this is the bag I was using for the Gnome Along. Yes. So the Halloween Gnome Along, I had knit, I don't have it, it's tucked away with my Halloween decorations, but I had knit Numpkin, which was the pumpkin gnome. And then I had started Nettle's legs over here. And so that's what's in here. This is a project I'm going to get back to, probably not until Halloween, but that's going to go in that pile. And then, oh, this bag, this used to have multiple projects in it. So I need to see how many projects we've got going on in this one. Oh, I think we're down to just one project. Good. Okay, so this is the start of... this is the start of a summer tank top by Sari Nordland. So I know that that's just a single project. We're gonna see. I'm not making any decisions today of what I'm gonna knit next or anything. I'm just revisiting things to make sure that I actually know what's in all the bags. So coming up with a plan is going to come in a future episode pretty soon. But right now I just need to know which of those bags have actual projects in them and which are just full of leftover stuff that needs to be sorted and cleaned up, put away. We are making progress. I don't have that many whip bags left. So, oh. All right, this is a bag of just randomness, I think. I see. Oh, okay, I remember what was in here. I have 2 projects in here. This is the bag that I was using for my twists and turns shawl, and I finished that shawl this past fall. So I have the remnants from that in here, but then I also have a project that needs to be frogged. I have a single sock project that I knit with this yarn, and I didn't like the pattern. I love the pattern. Like, I love the little color work. I love the little color work motif on it, but I mean, it's like the most awkwardly shaped, wide sock. It had all of this calf shaping, but my legs are so skinny, I didn't need to do the calf shaping. Plus, I don't know why I just followed the pattern for this one. This one, like, I know that my ideal stitch count is between 52 and 56 stitches on like a size 1 needle. And I think I just did whatever the pattern recommended, which was probably 60 or 64. Like, I was dumb. So anyway, I knit this sock. I need to frog this sock, reclaim the yarn, and decide if I'm going to knit it again and just do my like regular sock pattern and just take the cute little colorwork motif, or if I am going to just frog it and just make something else altogether. So that goes in there. What is in this one? Again, just another like non-exciting. This is from Nomad Yarns. Not excited. Non-exciting project bag. Oh, right. Has a specific project in it. This one has the start of my Misurina. This is a Caitlin Hunter pattern, and I had frogged it once because I had forgotten to do, there's like these little cables in between the colorwork motifs, and I had forgotten to do them. And so I needed to frog it, and I've since re-knit it. This could be a really good one to pick out for spring if the size will still fit me. So, all right, that's what's in here. That's good to know. 2 more bags. Oh, I know what's in this one. This is just a Fiber Space tote bag. This one is very close. Is this the only No, this is not the only project in here. So let me separate out. All right. This is about to be the only project in here. I'm gonna take away, I had yarn remnants in here from my shift cowl. So these just need to be like weighed and put away and labeled. And then the only other thing that's in here is the yarn to finish this sweater. This is a very bright sweater. I started this like 2 or 3 years ago now, and I think the whole body is done. This is very bright. This just needs sleeves. So we'll see. I either need to finish this or reevaluate. I think I might need to try this one on. And now we have the last one. Oh, I know what's in this one. This one is also a current whip. Just have to make sure it's only one project in here. All right, good. There's no surprises hiding in here. This is another very active project. This is my Painting Rainbows shawl here with my mushroom dyed yarn, and I have just started putting on the border, and I have forever to go on it. So like along the bottom there, I have to do this whole border that I started down here. All right, so that's what this is. And that is all of my whip bags, you guys. So the whip bags weren't exactly as bad as I thought that they were going to be. So that's really good news. A few bags that I need to clear out, and then like all of this mess. And yeah, I think I need to go through all of this on a table and see if we can just clean it up and get it organized into little projects that I need to do. Because this is mostly yarn remnants or like this whole sweater quantity of yarn that just I need a bag and to come up with a project for. Stage one is done. Guys, can you tell that I like purple? This is like the whole purple and blue project bags over here. This pile over here is my spinning and just random projects that need to be frogged. And this pile over here is the pile of specific projects in bags already ready to go. And I am going to throw those into this basket over here, which is next to my couch. Okay, so I am feeling so much calmer already. I have put away my whips that are specific projects in the basket next to my couch. And I just put the bags, I moved them from my floor up to above the couch. These are the bags that I need to empty and either frog projects from and gather the yarn scraps and get them weighed. But Owen and I are about to go see the new Pixar movie called Hoppers. So I just wanted to get those picked up off the floor because I've got free roam bunnies and I've got at least one really nice project bag up here that I don't want getting chewed on or messed up or anything. So I'm just putting them up there. I know now what is in all of those bags, and what you can't see still is the mess in front of me on the coffee table. But there's at least now a place to sit on the couch, so that was productive. We've made some progress. Hello again. Okay, Owen is now in bed. My husband is now in bed. I am the only one not in bed, and I'm okay with that because I am thoroughly a night owl. So that's completely fine. Um, this is feeling so much better back here. I still have these bags that I need to go through. I know what's in them now. These are just things that need to be either frogged or just put back with spinning related things. Some yarn remnants, things like that from old projects. So because these are already nicely in bags and they're not cluttering the coffee table in front of me, I'm going to just leave them there for the time being, and we are going to tackle the mess that is in front of me right over here. I think the first thing I'm going to do is to just get the bigger bags of yarn cleared from the table so that I can just make space. I think I'm going to save the needles and whatever other tools I have for after I deal with sorting all of the yarn. So I am going to, I actually came up with a plan for this yarn before. So this is some Spin Cycle. What was this called again? It was called like oh, I've got the label right here. I can actually tell you. I don't want to, it's not tricycle, but it's Trine. That's right, Trine. Spin Cycle Trine. And I had wound my sweater quantity of this almost a year ago. I think I did this last April because I had plans to cast on something. I think I hadn't completely determined what pattern it was going to be yet, but I knew that this yarn I wanted to work with in the near future now being almost a year later. But I was thinking that I would go ahead and put all of the yarn, because I have all of it wound. It's like 8 different balls of yarn or something. So that's actually taking up a big corner of the table here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move this into the project bag that has my Amy sweater in it right now because I'm so close to finishing that one. And the yarn really matches that bag well. You'll see what I mean. Look at how well the yarn coordinates with this bag. I can't be the only one who likes to coordinate projects or yarn to the bags that I put them in. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you do too. I mean, I've already shown you all my bags. I don't have that many fancy project bags, but when I am going to use one, I try to match my project to the bag. It just makes sense to me. It's just another little layer of joy in the knitting process that just makes me smile. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this yarn at the bottom of this bag. So just a sneak peek, you can see my Amy sweater is almost done. I have just like maybe 5 or 6 more rounds on the body, on the hem before binding off. So I'm going to go ahead, and this is just going to be the project bag that I use for whatever this yarn is going to turn into, because I still would like to work with this really soon. And that will automatically clear a good amount of space, and it's just something that I didn't really have to think too hard about. Okay, perfect. So that is now one less decision. I'm sorry, my husband would correct me. One fewer decision that I have to make. So I also have a couple of bags here. This has some Lion Brand jeans yarn in it. This is actually an acrylic yarn that I got from Michael's several years ago. So many years ago. This is what's in here. And I wanted to use this yarn as the base for a sweater for Owen. And I don't know if I'm still going to do that or not. I'm just going to set this over here for a minute. That yarn, I wanted to make him the Le Garçon, the bear hoodie sweater. It's so cute. He's 11 now and he's in middle school, so my hunch is that he is not going to wear that hoodie anymore, because middle schoolers have a very specific list of things that they will agree to wear. So he's no longer knit-worthy at the moment. So that's what's in these bags. Ideally, what would happen is my long-term organization is that these things will get sorted back into my yarn closet. Right now, it is a yarn closet of shame. It is a disaster. It's also located in the bedroom where my husband is sleeping. So we're going to just use that as our excuse to just save that for another day. So basically, my goal tonight is to just make this easier for future me to do these other much more difficult yarn sorting, stash sorting projects. Because my stash, that's a whole other video, probably 5 videos to get that yarn closet stash organized. Right now, what we're doing is just trying to create some kind of order with what is sitting in front of me, because it was just everywhere. There was no logic to it, and so I'm just trying to create some kind of logic to this situation. Okay, so this yarn right here, this is another like really easy, it's got a crochet hook in it. This is actually just some acrylic yarn that I had given Owen several years ago when he wanted to learn how to crochet. And so he knows how to make a chain stitch, and so he'll sit there and do a chain sometimes. So I'm just gonna throw that in the basket. I've got a basket here that sits like underneath my coffee table. And basically this is kind of a little crochet basket. It's got some Woobles bags in it, either ones that I have completed already and just, again, like remnants of projects. So we have a couple of those in here. And there's a couple of crochet kits in here that like Owen was gifted at some point that he hasn't done. And so I'm just kind of making this basket, kind of like Owen's little crochet basket. So I'm just going to put this one back in here. And so what I have done was basically when I finish yarn for a project, I've just been shoving it. This is one of the places it's gone, and it's no longer going to go there. So I'm also going to take, this is some loops and thread yarn that is really similar to the Woobles yarn. I am putting that in this basket too. My husband had requested a red penguin. And so I just bought the yarn. I had the Pierre penguin kit from Woobles, but not in the red color. And so I just bought the yarn from Michael's and I used the pattern that I already had and I created that. So I'm just gonna leave that yarn in this like crochet basket as well. So those were like some really easy decisions that just cleared a bit of space off of this table. So I'm just gonna get like the full skeins out of the way. Oh, actually, before we do this, I just found the other bags. These bags contain more of that Lion Brand jeans yarn, and these were going to be the other colors for that bear hooded sweater. So I'm just going to put all of this together, and what I'm actually going to do, so I've got my bookcase to the left of me over here. This has like all my knitting books and stuff. And then at the bottom of it, I have some bins. And that blue bin, where's my finger? Right there behind my spinning wheel is where a lot of what's on the coffee table came out of. And that is now empty. So I'm going to take this Lion Brand yarn and for that project, and just for now, because this is like a complete project, but I'm probably not going to make it. It needs to go back in my yarn closet at some point. I'm just going to put this in that bin right now just to get it off of the table. These two skeins of yarn, Owen dyed these with Kool-Aid and snow dye, and this is a worsted weight yarn. I haven't knit anything from it. I think I'm going to add this to that basket over there because that's just, they're not scraps. They're like full skeins of yarn that need just to be put away somewhere or assigned a project. And I'm not ready to work with those right now. So, oh my gosh, I'm getting hot. So hang on. Organizing is hard work, you guys. I got really hot there for a minute. So I'm sure many of you can relate to just all of a sudden overheating. I am perimenopausal, so that's something to do with it. Okay, so I'm down on the floor. I am going to sort the yarn. So anything that is like a stop, drop, and knit yarn, I am going to separate into its own pile because I do want to keep my business yarn separate. And like I have some things over here that are business yarn, like even this little swatch right here is a business thing. And so I want to put all of these together. And so I think I'm gonna first, like on the couch behind me here, you can't really see that now, but just anything that is my naturally dyed yarn, I'm just gonna put on the couch for a minute. That is this whole bag. And that is, all right, this is commercial. This is commercial. This is its own weird mix of things. So I feel like I need to open this one and go through it. All right, so I have in here, this is some spin. No, actually, wait, this is my hand spun. Okay. This was yarn. I thought it was Spin Cycle. No, this is actually my hand spun yarn that I used in my Easy V sweater. Okay, so that's like, it's, where does this go? It's not my business yarn. I'm just gonna put it, I don't know. I feel like my hand spun should have its own special little pile. So we'll have to create a separate pile for for hand spun. So we've got 3 categories. Hand spun, which there shouldn't be that much of. I can actually empty some of these bags and get the hand spun together. So that's probably where that will go. And then the commercial yarn and then my yarn. So I guess that's how we're going to do it. This, oh my goodness, I know what this is. This was so long ago. How is this even still here? I think that's not the same. All right, that's gonna go in this basket for now. Okay, this yarn, I knit my son Hedwig like 4 years ago. 4 years ago? 3 years ago? 4 years ago? To go with his Halloween costume. He was Harry Potter, and I made him his own Hedwig. I can't believe that's still sitting in a bag from, I mean, he must have been, no, 7. I think he was 7 when he was Harry Potter. He's 11 now. So yeah, so this is like 4 years ago yarn. Oops. All right, so I'm gonna take these bags and I'm gonna go put them in that bin because these are like all contained and fairly large balls of yarn that need to just kind of be weighed and properly put back in my stash closet at some point. These yarn labels actually go, and these yarn scraps that I found after the fact, these actually, I pulled these out of this drawer, my coffee table drawer. These I actually need to put in a bag because there's an active project in this basket. So I'm gonna stick these in that bag. This is looking so much better already. I'm gonna sort through this basket. Of yarn. Actually, it's not as much as I thought. I think that all I'm gonna do for tonight, because I'm just trying to get the table clear right now. I'm not gonna sit here. We're not gonna weigh anything. We're not gonna, you know, see how many grams are left of anything. What I'm gonna do, like this is my hand spun, this is leftover. So I'm gonna make a pile for my hand spun. Hand spun is gonna go here. Any of my naturally dyed yarn is going to go on the couch for now. And everything else that is, you know, what I'm calling commercial yarn is just going to go back in this basket. So basically I'm just separating out a couple of different categories. And then I'll know that this is leftovers that I can put away another time. Like this right here is the leftovers from my framed sweater right here. This is like a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, actually. I thought that this basket was worse. And I think that that's just because it was overflowing. I've got a flexi flip that was in there for some reason. 2 of them, 2 flexi flips. Okay, this is a super tiny yarn scrap, but honestly, like something like this, even though it seems like, why would I keep this? It works really well as a leader yarn for my spinning wheel. So I think I'm just gonna shove that in like the little tiny scraps. This is the fiber that I'm currently spinning in this basket. So I think I'm just gonna put like some of these really small scraps that I've honestly just been using as a leader yarn. Just gonna put them in here with my spinning fiber because then those are just ready to go. This is so pretty. I don't want to throw this out. It's like a little tiny scrap of my hand spun. Use that as a leader yarn too. That's cute. Okay, that feels a lot better. So now I've cleared space on the coffee table. I think now I can go through a couple of the bags on the couch now that I have like a clear surface. And I can add some to this basket. I know that I've got some hand spun that needs its own little category, so I guess that's what we're gonna do next. That's one bag emptied. Two bags emptied. Wanted to show you this linen that I spun. Found in there a little ball that I spun. Came out so nice. So I went ahead and I emptied some more of yarn that is from my naturally dyed yarn, and I've got it ready to be put back away. So I've got this bag, and what I did was I put, like, based on what I used it for, I put it like in its own little separate bags, and I'm gonna add these bags to this one. To get one more bag so that I can reclaim this project bag from my striped sweater. Oh, cute. I found another little tool. It's a little kitty cat yarn cutter with the tools. And now this bag is now empty and ready for a new project. Okay, so I'm feeling pretty good about the coffee table right now. So I've got, let's see, got a bunch of stitch markers and some stuff that I need to go through here. This is just some larger things. That's my interchangeable needles, pom-pom maker, ball winder. Probably I'm just gonna stick those in one of these baskets under the coffee table because that's what I have. This basket here is just my current fiber basket that I'm working from. This is the next thing that I need to empty. So that's what we're about to do. And then this is all sorted. These are the two projects that I need to frog. And then all of my other scrap yarn that needs to go back into my stash labeled and weighed and stuff is in this little basket over here. Next to me on the couch here, I've got just my hand spun bag, and then these three bags here are ready to just go back in my business yarn for the next time I want to use it to knit something. So while I'm frogging this sock, I was thinking it would be really fun to do one of those, how long is this actually going to take? Like, I've been procrastinating on frogging this sock, for example, for 2 years. 2 years. And I'm now doing it. It is taking a while. And I did start filming, so I technically am timing this. So I think that might be a fun little segment I can do with some of these smaller projects. Just, that I've been procrastinating on for however long some of them may be. And maybe just do things to a timer and see, like, how long is this actually going to take to do? Like, was it worth procrastinating on it for so many years? Now, I can tell you, according to my timer, this has been going on for 17 minutes and 55 seconds. So 18 minutes so far. And I'm only halfway through. But it's the last task for tonight. I can do it. Thankfully, this is a non-superwash yarn, so all of these little bits, I can put them back together with some good old bit splicing when I go to use them again in the future. But this was a lot of color work. I don't think I've ever frogged this amount of color work before. So yeah, this is fun. That was sarcasm. I didn't want to frog this one, but I couldn't get it over my foot. It was a very sad day when I realized that. I was almost finished knitting the sock. And I went to do the good old try on to see if I was ready for the toe. So here we are, 2 years later, finally frogging the sock. It's been in the bag in the naughty corner for 2 years. We are at 24 and a half minutes, and I still have this much to go. So fun fact, every shade of pink in this sock came from a mushroom called Cortineus semisanguineus. I have no idea how to actually pronounce that, but it's so beautiful. This is the strongest color you can get from the mushroom. And then all of the other shades of pink were created from just gradually exhausting the dye bath. So pretty, huh? Mushrooms. And we've made it to the ribbing. The end is in sight. That's it. The sock is frogged. The coffee table is cleared. Well, except for the socks that I just frogged. But there's order returned. It's very satisfying. Very satisfying. So when I was timing that, I forgot that my camera will stop recording after like 25 minutes or something. So I'm going to have to go back and do some math to see how long did that actually take to frog that sock. But my rough estimate is like 30, 32 minutes, something like that. But it was a massive colorwork sock. And now I don't have to look at it and be sad anymore. So it is in all of these pieces. I will film what it looks like now. So there's my socks. I've got like all of these little pieces everywhere. But you guys, I did it. The coffee table is restored. I mean, I still have to put some things away, but we've got empty project bags, a basket that is really just full of needles now. So that's a project for another day. I'm going to compile all of these back into probably a little Ziploc baggie. And I've got that yarn there. That is a full skein and mini skein for a sock project, and that's already ready to go. It's wound up, so I may as well use that soon. My basket of whips is right here. So we are good to go to bed. Finally. Calm has been restored. It is no longer chaos. I still have organizing to do, but it is now organized chaos. It's not really chaos, but, well, my yarn closet is chaos. We're going to just save that for another day and another video. All right, I'm calling that a success for today. The couch has been cleared. The whip bags have been sorted and emptied. And the coffee table is no longer the absolute disaster zone that it was when we started. Feeling so much better about the knitting cleanup. I'm actually feeling really good about where my knitting projects are right now. I've got just a handful of lingering whips because I've really been working through those this year. So that feels really good. And I just have a couple of active projects on the needles still. So now that I have a clearer idea of what my whip situation actually looks like, I'm feeling ready to sit down and come up with a more intentional spring knitting plan. So that's something we're going to talk about in the next episode. But for now, I'd love to know, how many whips do you have on your needles right now? Are you someone who has just one or two projects going at a time? Or are you like past me with a whole slew of projects stuffed in every room, in bags everywhere, and the list is like a mile long? I'd love to know. Thank you so much for spending time with me while I tackled this knitting cleanup. And I will see you in the next episode of the Stop, Drop, and Knit podcast. Until then, happy knitting.